Hello everybody, Mount Augustine Volcano versus Mount Fuji by Robert Geis. Let's get started. So here's a view of Mount Augustine up in Alaska. Pretty spectacular. Mount Augustine is located just above the Kamishak Bay and the southern Cook Inlet, about 290 kilometers southwest of Anchorage, Alaska. This is the most active volcano of the eastern Aleutian Arc. Hey Robert, what's the Aleutian Arc? Hey, that's a great question. Glad you asked. Let me show you. So as you can see, remember when we studied plate tectonics, right here we have the Pacific plate being subducted underneath this North American plate. And right here we have this long strip of red dots, which zoomed in is right here, the Aleutian Arc. And right here is located Mount Augustine, a little island just off the coast right here. And it's being formed from the magma partially being melted from the Pacific plate, rises, forming the volcanoes. This is a lava dome with lava flows type of volcano. The few lava flows are exposed. The flanks consist of mainly debris and avalanche and pyroclastic flow deposits formed by repeated collapse and regrowth of the summit. So here we are with the eruption style. Let me show you real quick. It frequently produces explosive eruptions and are notorious for collapsing and producing glowing avalanches of block and ash flow. So, pretty intense, as you can see. I would hate to be in that airplane right now, but to each their own. Now, the real hazards associated with this volcano is the ash plume. As we know, it could damage airlines, jetliners, so on and so forth. But it would also shut down commercial fishing operations, shipping lanes, and also oil production. A study by this guy, R.H. Solmani, in 2005, essentially said that it would need a very large eruption with very large debris moving at very high speeds when the tide is extremely high to create a tsunami that could potentially harm the town of Homer and Sladovia, which is 70 kilometers to the southeast of Augustine. Really, there's no major hazards with this volcano, just because it is an isolated island. Now, there hasn't been any deaths from this volcano, mostly because it's an isolated island, but the last eruption was back in 2005, 2006, and the most intense eruption was back in 1883, which created a tsunami as well. But as far as and here's another video of the eruption going on. This is just the best one that they have. Everything else is kind of pixelated. Now, as far as the monitoring concern, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration established a West Coast and Alaska Tsunami Warning Center that monitors seismic and volcanic activity. The ABO's primary monitoring tool is a series of seismometers that can monitor the movement of magma months before an eruption. They also use GPS with satellite radar and cross-reference the data to make sure that the ground of the volcano is either swelling or not swelling, so they can be prepared in the event of an eruption. Now, Mount Augustine versus Mount Fuji. Mount Fuji, quick overview. It is a stratovolcano. The last eruption was in 1707 and 1708. It's actually still on the Pacific coast, just along the Ring of Fire. Now, it is 60 miles southwest of Tokyo. Now, using the seismic noise, almost an ultrasound, of the Earth's crust showed that Mount Fuji is under pressure. Even though we would be able to evacuate the 1.2 million people in the surrounding area, Tokyo is the world's largest megacity, only about 60 miles away, which would be covered in volcanic ash, causing buildings, roads, and other infrastructures to collapse. Now, it being one of the largest cities, Mount Fuji is for sure more dangerous than Mount Augustine. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something today. Take care.